Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today we will study the formula unit topic and that topic is present on your textbook on page number 22. So we will discuss that what is formula unit. Actually the term formula unit is associated with the ionic compounds. You know very well that in the previous lecture we discussed that molecules they are represented by the molecular formula. Glucose is a molecule and its molecular formula is C6H12 and O6. So that's all about the presentation of a molecule. Now for the presentation of ionic compound we use formula units. We will discuss these things in detail now. Ionic compounds they are made up of ions. You know very well that we have two types of ions, positive ions and negative ions. The positive ions they are also known as cations and the negative ions they are known as anions. Actually the ionic compounds they are formed by the combination of positive ions and negative ions. The ionic compound they don't exist in the form of a molecule. For that reason ionic compounds they cannot be represented with the help of a molecular formula, or in a simple way you can say that ionic compounds can't be represented with the help of molecular formula. Now the question arises that how we represent the ionic compound in a simple way or in the form of a formula. So the ionic compounds they don't exist in the form of molecule. Actually they exist in the form of a crystal. Actually the crystals they are made up of ions, that is positive ions and negative ions, and these ions are arranged in a repeating pattern and in a definite pattern. So the crystal is formed of positive and negative ions in which they are arranged in a repeating pattern and in a definite pattern. So here we have a diagram for a crystal of sodium chloride. You can see that here the negative ions, that is chloride ions, and the positive ions they are present, and they are present in a compact structure. For that reason you can't represent them in a form of a molecular formula. When you examine these crystal in detail, so you have a structure somewhat like this, that the crystals they are actually inside the crystal the situation is somewhat like this, that is the positive ions they are represented with the help of blue color, and the negative ions, that is chloride ions, they are represented by the green color. So you can see that within the structure, within the crystal, the ions they are arranged in a definite pattern and they have a particular geometrical shape. So here we use the word repeating pattern. Now I will give you the detail about the repeating pattern. Now in this structure, you will see that here is the arrangement of some positive ions and the negative ions. So we discuss that arrangement in detail. That red color indicate you the sodium ion and the green color they are the chloride ion. So in this situation you can see that the repeating units, that the sodium and chloride ion they repeat themselves in this structure, that is here chloride ion, sodium ion, chloride ion, sodium ion. So you can see that there is a repetition of the particular unit in the crystal structure. All you can observe that the sodium ion, chloride ion, sodium ion, chloride ion. So you can observe that there is a repetition of a particular pattern in the crystal structure. So coming to the definition which is present on your book, that is Formula unit is the smallest repeating unit of an ionic compound showing the simplest ratio between the ions. Now, ratio, simplest ratio. What is the simplest ratio? For that, we uh, take some examples, some common examples, which you know very well. That is, formula unit of sodium chloride is NaCl. In this formula, you can see that we have one sodium and one chloride ion is present. So it indicates you the simplest ratio of the ions that are present in a crystal structure. So the formula unit of sodium chloride will be NaCl. Similarly, in the second case, we have a second example, that is formula unit of potassium chloride is K Cl, that is K ratio 1, Cl ratio 1. So its formula unit will be KCl. So again, we read the definition. I think it will be clear. Formula unit is the formula unit is the smallest repeating unit of ionic compound showing the simplest ratio, that is these ratio. So simplest ratio between the ions. So in these examples, sodium ions are present, chloride ions are present. So these are the formula unit which give you the ratio of the ions which are present in an ionic compound. So after that, we have a problem, that is practice problem 1.3 on your book, page number 22. Now what is the question? How many atoms of each elements are present in one formula unit of each of the following compound? And we have some example over there, that we have some formula unit, and what we want to calculate, we will calculate the number of atoms within a formula unit. So in the first case, we have Hg2Cl2. So number of Hg will be 2, and number of Cl, yeah, that is chlorine, they will be 2. Similarly, we have a second formula unit which is given, and what we will calculate, we will calculate the number of atoms. So the number of nitrogen atom will be 1, the number of hydrogen atom 4, 2, that is 4 plus 2, that is hydrogen atom will be 6, phosphorus 1, oxygen, as the formula indicate you that there are 4 oxygen atoms, so you will write oxygen 4. Similarly, in the third formula unit, we have MgCl2. So the number of magnesium atom is 1, and 2 is, that is chlorine atoms are 2. Similarly, we have the fourth formula unit, NH4OH. Nitrogen is 1 and hydrogen will be 5. How it 5? That is 4. This 4 hydrogen atoms are indicated as in this form, and 1 hydrogen is also present at the last of the formula. So you will add all these atoms of hydrogen with one another. So 4 plus 1 will give you 5. Similarly, oxygen is present. 1 atom of oxygen is present, so you will write 1 with oxygen. So that's all about your practice problem 1.3. It's very simple. You can easily write their number which are present in a formula unit. Thank you.